Thank you very much. I'm Anne-Marie Touche. I live in Texas. Not originally from Texas, but I consider this home because I come from back east where if you stay in Texas long enough, you will see snowstorms. And I'm pretty much an expert on orbs, ghosts, crystal skulls, everything to ETs around because I've been around long enough that this is second nature to me. I grew up in Massachusetts. Massachusetts, of course, is known for the few things, Plymouth Rock and the witches, Salem witch trials, so we kind of all knew about that stuff. We're a very old area up there, so hauntings and paranormal activity was a normal study. And then growing up with Roswell stories. I can remember as a small tot, after President Eisenhower was elected, that a newspaper came out there with President Ike standing there with an ET, saying a peace treaty has been made between the government and the aliens. And then it went away. You didn't hear any more about that. That never happened. But that didn't stop everyone from still knowing and talking. Now, how do I get from slide to slide? How are we going to work that?
Do it manually this time.
Manual, okay. So, you're going to, how do
Just tell him to do it new.
Tell it to do it. I have a remote, but you don't have anywhere to put it in. It won't work. Okay.
Oh.
No, that won't work. You plug that in, it controls this for the remote.
Do you want to do that? Okay.
If you've got to stop. We have another port open, yeah, and then that's fine. Which I'll just say next.
Let's do that.
That's not.
Let's do that.
You just say next.
Yep, next.
Next. There you go. So the veil is lifting, and orbs is one of the things that everybody is seeing, feeling, hearing about in their photographs lately are orbs.
No, she's working. I just changed it. Just push up or down.
Okay. So, orbs are the first that are connecting us to other realms. Okay, this is
Down goes back.
go. Hey, there we go. All right. Angels. Now, we've all grown up knowing about angels, knowing that angels were always with us. And we always look up as little kids, and we all look up into clouds and say, what's up there in the clouds? What's making, we used to make images in the clouds when we were little kids. So we always looked up, and always looked up because angels are watching over us. We are not alone in any way, shape, or form. But we have to start with elementary school and go up to get our PhD in college. This particular angel was with me in the early 90s. I went to Cancun, and I was going to overcome fear of heights and fear of water. Because that was all I had left to, because that was past life remembrance of the fear. And when I got to Cancun, I overcame that by going through the temples of Chichen Itza and remembering. And so I'm going to overcome fear of heights by getting these, got these great little parasails now. You can, the boat takes you up and it's like a Ferris wheel seat. And so I can, it goes up about 7 stories, but that's 5 stories higher than I want it to go. I'm sitting there and I'm praying. It is not a good day to die because I've got a little Smarty with me and she weighs about 90 pounds. And she's swinging this dirt thing just like she's on a Ferris wheel. And she's like, oh, this is fun. And oh, look at how little everybody looks. And what happens if the rope breaks? No. We don't want to hear rope break. We don't want to hear rope break. Pray. And when we got down on the boat, we looked up. And there she was, the angel. And she stayed with us in the clouds the day. Because from there we went snorkeling. And I overcame my fear of water. Knowing that I was protected and guided, but angels don't stay, cloud formations don't stay there all day. So that's part of the looking up and knowing we're connected. Because the messages are there. Taos, New Mexico. This angel, I don't know if you can see me good. She's a side view, so she's kind of laying on a cloud. And Taos is a really spiritual area there where you're going to see a lot of connection from the old Native American Pueblo villages throughout New Mexico, Santa Fe, and up into Taos as an area we have a lot of sacred areas. So this angel, can you see her face? Is just kind of, maybe the red bean doesn't work. Okay. Up there. It's the side view. Not the angel. Laying there. So I've always known that we were not alone. Angels are working with us, and ask and you shall receive the messages from above. And orbs have been showing up in lots and lots of photographs. Are you all familiar with orbs? Raise of hands. Okay. Orbs. And what are orbs? What are they? You see these little things that show up in photographs, but is there a message from orbs? What are orbs trying to tell us? Oops. And those messages from the clouds, too. Can you see? There's messages up there all day long. The orbs are so popular that they have their own conference. In 2008, the Prophets Conference put on Orbs, the Veil is Lifting, with James Gillian. Anybody familiar with James? He's a big UFO, lives out in Washington, where has a lot of activity. And they did, there's DVDs, there's movies, there's books, everything about orbs, because orbs is the first sign that the veil is lifting and connecting us to other realms. I was a presenter at this conference speaking about my orb photographs that I had taken in 2007 when I was in Mount Shasta, California. And we were there. James had a large orb during his presentation. This orb looks like his. But what are orbs? Are these orbs? All these little white, these look like orbs, but they're really dust particles. So you have to learn to debunk, just like in any other paranormal investigation. You have to debunk. So these are just really, oh, look at, the girl got all excited. She sent me this picture, and she said, look at all the orbs, look at all the orbs, I have a house full. I said, you're doing construction, you have a lot of dust. These look like orbs. Look at all the orbs we're floating around here. This is downtown Stockyards, but it's raindrops. So raindrops are not orbs. These are orbs. Ding-a-ling. Orbs, how can you tell they're orbs? Because they have faces. There's images. They have a distinctive marking to them. So that you know they come in colors. They come in the daylight. Orbs are not always just at night. You're the energies, because orbs are just energy. Energies of who? Energies of beings.
Does the color mean anything?
Different colors do mean different things, yes. And that is each interpretation for each individual a lot of times. Okay? As to what the colors, we've had different definitions about different colors and things, but it's kind of individual. This is at Sedona. I just lost. Anybody been to Sedona, Arizona? This is just the best for activity. The vortex energies are there. But this is at Airport Mesa, which is known for its sunset activity. And you can tell the difference. This is not an orb. But these might be, see the faces? The actual faces and images are in these orbs. So Sedona, Arizona is known for its vortexes. It's known for its high spiritual activity. And here is the proof that that area is very, very active. Orbs are in church, so they must work with God. It must be okay to have orb energy around us, because there's that fear, you know, that F-E-A-R, that false evidence. It just appears real. Now I have a group. These are our woo-woo sisters. And the orb energy, we have Santiago is a local. I don't know if you're familiar with Santiago locally here. And the woo-woo sisters. I'm a misfit. I'm a yeah sisterhood, and I'm a woo-woo. I'm a little bit of everything. But we have, right here, we have some really good orbs. Energy right here and right here. We were all doing some dancing, and energies are all over us. So we have our, you know, we are not alone. We are surrounded with angels and guides. Now this is a little Doesn't look green here in the photograph, but there's an orb energy right here on her cheek.
Yes.
Yeah. And that, she said, where we were doing our chanting and our dancing with Santiago and we took the picture, before we took the picture she was saying, I feel my husband's energy around us. I feel that Mark, her husband who's been crossed over for a couple of years, I feel his energy with me. And there he was. So little green love dot on her cheek. So, are orbs ghosts? Are they spirits? What are ghosts? What are hauntings? I'm a paranormal investigator because, like I said, Massachusetts has a lot of activity. My cousin sent me this newspaper article because it made the newspaper. Yeah. And this local historian snapped this digital photograph inside a jail. The House of Correction in Springfield, Massachusetts was ready to be demolished. And the last hanging took place in this building in 1898. And these images were taken just seconds apart from each other. And this is what is called ectoplasma of an image that definitely wanted to be acknowledged. And the cameraman, I would love to have seen his face when he took that picture. It's always a shock when you first get a picture. It's like, what is that in my camera? So apparitions are around everywhere. Fort Worth has its share of ghost hunts. We have ghost hunters. I'm a member of the Fort Worth Ghost Hunters group. We have a paranormal gal that Paula Shimmerhorn that takes groups around the Fort Worth area to Miss Molly's being one of the more active locations to go to. How many have done investigations that are familiar with Miss Molly's? Is an old brothel that's been around since time began in the days of the old. And when you go in there, you will feel energies. You know, that will, you're sitting there and you'll hear things thumping, knocking, maybe moving around. So it's an old, and they've left it in the old time. Now this picture, we tried to debunk the heck out of this because right here was not in the room. This marking right here, and two of us have pictures like this. Paula has the same thing. We looked, we took it, what is causing this? Where did that particular image come from? It's not in the room. So that's what makes you go, It just makes you think, well, maybe there is something there. Something to that. Definite orb energy right here on the stairs. The last manager, a couple of years back, of Miss Molly's did die here at the foot of the steps. So that's validation and confirmation for the energy of that orb is indeed the manager that is still hanging out and wanting to keep his eye on Miss Molly's. So you can see the image, and you can almost see three images here on the stairs. So you have to have a really good imagination too. I have a great imagination. So when you just because you feel it, you have a feel, you know something's there, and then you're real thrilled when it actually shows up on camera. Now the best place, this is Gainesville, the Hill House Manor. Anyone heard of Hill House Manor in Gainesville? Do you want to go on a ghost hunt? Bring your diapers. Yeah, because you where you depend, it's going to depend because you will. This will scare the TT. This house, people cannot spend the night in Hill House Manor. There's no activity in this place. These poor owners can't. They bought a couple of houses in the neighborhood years ago, and this is a 3-family house. There's an upstairs, a side, and two sides, and an upstairs apartment. And this side of the house is pretty much in disarray. It's always been in renovation stages. And they were able to rent the upstairs and the downstairs. Nobody would stay a 6-month lease. People would just be running out of there. And they couldn't, they couldn't rent it, couldn't keep it rented. The owner stayed in it and found out why. So they decided they're making more money renting it out to ghost hunters groups. But shh, don't tell the neighbors. They're just teaching photography classes in there. They don't want to scare the neighbors, yeah. There's just a few orgs. And we went with our woo-woo sisters, and you can see the images and distinctions in this house. And Judy is just a magnet. I just follow her around. I don't need any kind of ghost hunting equipment. I just follow her. And she has vertigo. And she was standing there and she was going, oh my gosh, I feel just like when I've got vertigo. I went, don't move. Click, 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 click. And she figured out when she has that feeling is when spirit energy's around her. So for her, it was a key to knowing when she's being contacted. Now, Hill House Manor, this was the girl that was showing us around. And where did this red energy come from? Nothing. Everything is perfectly clear in this picture. Now, most of the activity is over on the demolished side, which has no electricity, which makes it even sweeter to go through with your flashlight and stuff. And then jump around the corner, scare your friends. So we had to use our flashlights. Now these three markings, can't really see, but there's this is the upstairs in the hallway, and reportedly from everybody's investigations and all, there's a little girl and a cat that plays in this hallway, and they have this set up. This lamp is not, there's no electricity, and they have some little dollhouse and little toys there. And they say they can tell the cat because it has 3 lights to it. And then this looks like a shape of a little girl. So the little girl, I was just thrilled. And I was click, 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 and whenever you go, you just, and you can catch this stuff on any camera. It doesn't take any special cameras. A digital throwaway, those little just throwaway cameras work. But you have to go click, 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 click. You have to take a lot of pictures in one area, especially if you feel an energy, if you feel activities around you, just keep clicking. Because sometimes they just barely show up on your camera and you don't want to miss it. So this was the case in this one. I just felt there was something there and I just had to keep clicking. Now here's back down in the downstairs room. There's something following this girl around. And it kind of, you can almost see a shape to that image. And it looks, there's supposedly a woman was murdered in that back room where they were standing. And this looks like an image of a woman to me. So you get an imagination. So, but there's something there. Definitely something there.
Was that visible to the naked eye?
They felt it. They felt it. We didn't actually see, but we could feel. You could see movement. They knew something was around, but they never actually got to know this in your face. Could see it. And this one, now she looks pretty friendly. Now remember, this was a brothel, so it means there was gambling and cowboys and probably some shootouts and some not so happy campers. This one, she really got dizzy on him. Can you see this image right here? Yeah, you wouldn't want to make that one. That's not someone you would like to have appear for you. You know, and he's just lurking around there. And, so this definitely is a male image. You can see the face, the shape of his body, and yours. Now they're going through a closet, or going through the hallway, and there's this orb energy here, and there's the back of a girl's head, but this here looks like a face. So this right here, eyes, nose, kind of look like his face. Doesn't it? The what?
The one before that was looking the other direction, they looked like a big eye. That looks like a reverse eye.
Yeah, you're going to see all kinds of things in these pictures. You know, everybody sees something different, which is the fun part. Because not everybody sees the same thing. Everybody, so you can see, and that's the key word, is to be able to see. That's sharpening your conscious, sharpening your awareness. So that's the first thing that we try to do is be aware, sharpen our awareness that we're not alone. Now this is an interesting, this white, here. This was out in Sedona. My cousin was standing out looking at the view and his wife took this picture. This was not physically there in any way, shape, or form. He looked at this picture and they know there was nothing there, and it's just kind of animated. It's just there. So it's not like a white flag or a white pole or something was hanging there. But now here we are in Gainesville at this ghost hunt, and this looks very similar in shaping to this. Makes you go, So there, you know, there is energies around us all the time that are trying to get our attention. It's definitely a two-way mirror on the spiritual side. They can see us. We're still trying to see them. That's why the veil is lifting. They're trying to connect us to other realms. By 2012, the idea is that the veil will be pretty lifted. Now this is an interesting picture. I did a presentation at our local Fort Worth group called Satori, and this showed up in the picture. Now it could be, you could say that's the rays off the projector lens, but we would make this, and this danced around the room, and it actually wrapped itself around someone's hand. And so it was like, huh, that's an interesting picture. And here's pictures from when I was talking to the group, and what are these stick figures? Sweet. And then this looks like shadows, but it's not coming from the group. So was there another dimension watching?
Do they pay admission?
We are not alone. There are parallel universes. There are parallel dimensions. Whole other story. It's a one planet. We're all here on this one little globe, floating around. What are we doing out here? Who watches over us? You know we got those angels. And God's, group overseeing our destiny spiritually. Could be. Who else is watching us? Are they good or are they bad? Who else watches us? Can you see this image? Here, there's a purple image.
Oh, yeah.
Going through the light. So yeah, who else is out there? What else is out there? What do we know? Who do we care? It's all over. There's vortex areas all over the planet. You go to Machu Picchu, you can go to England to Stonehenge, been to Mount Shasta, California, and Sedona, Arizona. Those are the 4 places that I focus on where I've gotten most of my pictures. Sedona, now this is Bell Rock. Bell Rock reportedly is a ship. It's a ship. A spaceship crashed in Sedona eons ago. Maybe what's that big mothership was doing hanging over Sedona years ago. They were looking for their relatives, Never know. Yeah. So that's a lot of activity is seen in Sedona, Arizona. Mount Shasta, California is reportedly the home of the Telosians. Who are the Telosians? They live in the inner earth. They are the descendants of the Lemurians. And many books are written about Telos and the hollow earth. And so there's a lot of activity that happens in Mount Shasta. Machu Picchu, what an ancient civilization time and energy that's there. Reportedly, the occupants of Machu Picchu ascended, much like we're talking about the 2012 ascension, reportedly. And they didn't leave any of those hieroglyphics behind like you find in Egypt or some of the other pyramids, because they weren't here to educate anybody. They came from the inner earth to make their transition, reportedly. And then good old Stonehenge, and all those powerful rocks and energy that's in England. England is you can go anywhere outside the United States, they'll tell you about UFOs, they'll tell you about spirits and energies, because They are not kind of closed down with air balloon stuff around here. But crystals, like we have in the United States, I mean, we're not a little behind the times over here. Travel. Crystals. What's crystals? What's crystal skulls? Let's talk about that. Who are they? What are they? What's this big thing about crystals? Crystals are under the earth. That is what the crystal energy of this planet is holding up, our crystal energy. So that's why we all like crystal stones. We go digging up in Arkansas for crystals. We all have gemstone energy because the energy and the frequency connects us to Mother Earth. Real simple. Because Mother Earth is, now this was found, these pictures come from Mexico, where they were digging, digging pretty hot under there. But look at the size of him, and look what's under us. And there's Mother Earth. So,
What kind of crystals are those?
quartz crystals. Same as you would find up and you go digging up in Arkansas, Mount Ida, or what's the...
Do the people who have actually gone in, because I know it's hot.
Yeah, you get in there, it's 1,500 degrees. They said it was 1,500 degrees. They didn't stay long.
They can't stay very long.
No.
I'm just curious, did they feel anything from the quartz crystals, the energies?
I'm sure they did. I'm sure they did. Yeah, they were probably pretty charged by that. So crystal skulls, Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull. Everybody seen that movie?
Yeah.
Now this is Harrison Ford. What did Harrison did another? Wasn't he the guy that did another movie years ago called Star Wars? Anybody see Star Wars?
Yes.
What do you think? Do you remember in Star Wars there was a bar scene? Does anybody remember the bar scene? Oh yeah! Now how many movies do you remember a specific scene out of? I'm not a movie buff. But everybody that I talked to that has seen Star Wars, for some reason, you may not remember a whole lot about that movie, but you remember the bar scene.
The bar.
The bar. Where we all sat around and had a drink. All right, Chewbacca. You remember Chewbacca? Han Solo's little big Chewbacca. That movie was subliminally channeled to, who wrote that movie? Spielberg?
Some kind of
Lucas. That was George, somebody got that. So reportedly, that Star Wars was channeled in, especially the bar scene. Because it was 1972, and it was time to wake up. And that subliminal message, we all remember the bar scene, we all remember the music. What was it with that E.T. Movie? It's the sounds, it's the frequency. So, Chalupa went around, job fair, to all you characters sitting at the bar. Would you like to sign up? Well, I don't know. What are we doing? Well, we're going to job down on planet Earth, planet Terra. Planet Gaia needs, it's a school down there we're starting. Really? Yeah, you think you might be interested? I'm always learning education. Well, let me buy you all a drink, tell you all about it. We got a job fair down there. You're going to be able to, you're all working on lessons and education. We want you to go down there and we want you to teach them love and joy and peace on earth. That sounds like an easy job to them. Oh, we could probably go down there and help that plan. Let me buy another drink, we'll talk about it. So we're going to send you down, and you're going to be able to reincarnate. You're going to be able to go there time after time because you're working all these lessons and it's a school. So you can work on the positive and the negative things and the greed and the happiness, all that fun stuff. Wow, we get points for that. Yeah, you evolve every time. You're evolving. You know, these kids that play these little games, they know they evolve. They change characters. I buy another drink. Let's talk more about it.
If you're going to mention that, then you want to mention Battlestar Galactica. It did.
So they said, well, we're going to send you down as a group, you know, so that you don't feel alone. So you'll have your group, and we're going to be overseeing you. So we're going to be watching over you to make sure you're okay. Oh, well, then we're guided and we're guarded and we're okay. Sure, you're going to be just fine. Have another drink. We're going to tell you all about it. You can go down with the group and you can reincarnate time after time with your same group. And does that sound like fun? Yeah. Now we're drunk. We signed the contract. The men built the spaceships. The women decorated them. We got here. Remember, we're in control of that ship. Crashed. Landed. Boom. Woke up. We got amnesia. looked at each other. Who the hell are you? And what are we doing here? We forgot that we came here because we accepted each other's differences, because we respected and appreciated each other for our gifts and talents. And that's what we've been working on remembering ever since. So part of Star Wars was to help us wake up and remember that we don't look like this. We might look like those characters around the bar scene, and we might live there too. Now, Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skulls. The Crystal Skulls, what's the big hype about Crystal Skulls? Crystal Skulls are so darn popular, they got their own convention. They have get-togethers and gatherings for Crystal Skulls. They had one in Sedona, Arizona, long before James Ray came up there and sweat lodged these people. Crystal Skull Convention by Yop. Yop has, lives in Sedona. This is my little crystal skull, Morning Star. So I was willing to go out there to Sedona to go to this convention because I knew the energies that are out there. This is Courthouse Rock. Courthouse Rock lives next door to Bell Rock. So if Bell Rock was the ship that crashed, I figured everybody moved into Courthouse Rock because that seems to be where all the activity is, at least in my pictures. So going out to Crystal Skulls Convention, there's thousands and thousands and thousands of skulls. People just, they collect them like children. They have hundreds of skulls. And they're all made from different gems, which all have different energy. So the energy and the frequency. But what's so mysterious about skulls, that it goes way back to the 1900s of Ann Mitchell's and the Mitchell Hedges skull that was made famous, so very famous that everyone heard about her first. This is the one, she was with her father and they were doing the digging in Mexico and so forth.
Lowered her down.
And pardon?
Lowered her down on a rope to get it.
Yeah, and she went and got it. Now my little morning star belongs to a group of Himalayan skulls that were found by a Dr. Frank Lowe. He found 24 skulls and 3 discs buried in the mountains of Tibet. And he didn't know what to do with them. He brought them here. He brought them to a woman and a group, and they were distributed amongst people that were kind of guided and led. It was kind of a hush-hush thing that these skulls were available, and what about them? And what is a skull? Skulls are brain, our head. So the message is to think, to use it, because we only use a quarter of it. And what crystal skulls are telling you is we have a big brain, we have a lot of knowledge, a lot of hidden secrets. And by meditating, of course, they're made of quartz, which is the energy of the earth, which is, then you can meditate and connect with. This is Elizabeth Hardstar. She lives out in Sedona, and she has her, I can't see Hardstar too good there, but the 2 skulls, Hardstar and Morning Star, came from the original 10. And at the same time as Dr. Lowe was unearthing these skulls in Tibet, a crop circle appeared in England. Same time as he was unearthing. Crop circle's a skull with a disc. I think there might be a connection to that. So the story is in 2002, when the Tibetan Dr. Lowe completed discovering the 24 skulls, 16 human-sized, 8 small, and 3 large discs. The discs were made out of a cobalt and other metallic substances that are rare. That's not something that was just made today. This is rare, and they were buried in the red cinnabar, mercury ore, which is very rare and ancient. So they believe this comes from the time of Atlantis, connected to the blue-white star Sirius and the other star systems. The crop circle disc decoded the crop circle ET face to look similar to those. So she believes that this confirmation is one of the signs of our times, that other extraterrestrial beings are trying to communicate with us, and they hope to assist us with the critical time of Earth's evolution. The message to humanity is, if we don't wake up, live with respect and integrity, live with love and unity, our beautiful Mother Earth and humanity may be annihilated, as it was in the Atlantean times. So the crystal skulls, this is James Tiburon. He's also a speaker about the skulls. This is Max. Everyone is familiar with our local Max. Max is in town as we speak. He's up in McKinney, I think, isn't he? I think he's up in McKinney. I think Michelle Barr has him up there. He's Joanne Parsons Brown, and I kind of played a little jokester. I kind of put Morning Stars, a little skull. It just shows her sign. But Synergy is one powerful skull. I mean, that is powerful energy. I put my hands on him and churn out. So there is a lot of power and energy connected with these skulls if you ever get the opportunity to see. And what else is out there? We have sacred sites, the pyramids, that are connected to the crystal skulls. Mexico City, I went to the pyramids first time in the 80s to Mexico City because I never thought I could afford to go to the big ones. And I had incredible, as soon as I got, I mean, it was like the energy was there. It was right after they had the earthquake, so it was like, what, 84 or something, that I think they had the earthquake in Mexico City. And I just started, I mean, I was telling the poor guy that was with us, I was telling him about his lifetime there, I was telling him all about these pyramids. He took me home, I'm channeling, I've got a room full of Mexican people that I'm doing readings for, and I don't speak a word of Spanish, but fortunately there's kids there that translated a fun thing. So that was my first pyramid experience, and then, of course, the Chichen Itza in Cancun I went to in the mid-90s. And what I learned from traveling around to sacred sites, to sacred pyramids, is they all have an observatory. What are they observing? The planets, planetary alignment. That's why having your astrology chart done, knowing where your astrological planets, knowing what's going on planetary-wise right now is very important to pay attention to what the messages are that are being given out there. Because in 600 AD, when this pyramid was built, how the heck they lined this thing up so that twice a year, this pyramid on the equinox, the serpent would light up. What intelligence is out there in 600 AD that we are descendants and our lineage from? So are we using all that we are capable of using and doing? Barbara Hine Clow. Anybody know Barbara Clow? Barbara Marciniak, you familiar with the Barbara Brennans and all that? I had the pleasure of being with Barbara Brennan, Barbara Clow, and Barbara Marciniak. That's three powerful Barbaras. And she's an astrologer that's teaching and been all over the world, along with Barbara Marciniak. And I was introduced to them in the mid-90s when they were first coming out, talking about Barbara is a channel for the Pleiadians. The Pleiadians are intergalactic, work with the intergalactic system, and channel. You wonder, you know, there's UFOs out there, but they don't land. How are they connecting with us? Because we are telepathically connected, and people that are channelers, psychic mediums, to, you know, star seeds, are channelers for the light. Because they've learned, there's crazy people live on the surface, and so they're not learning that shit. They figured out, we're going to get in, you government, can't trick the government. They're going to try to get those aliens. No, we're telepathically communicating with you. We're not going to come down and show ourselves yet. Silly people. Ancient civilizations of the pyramids. I went with Barbara Clow, and I went in 1995 as a part of a past life regression group, 160 people. And I went there as June, and I came back as Anne Marie. Because it's a past life group, sitting at the foot of the Sphinx, meditating. It wasn't who I was in a past life, it's who I am now. And my name at the time was June, but I'm an adoptee, and that's not my identity. My identity is Anne Marie. My birth given name is Anne Marie Touche. So I got it. I went, oh, Anne Marie. Then they shut me down for 3 days. They gave me laryngitis. And I told everybody, just call me Anne Marie. And it resonated off the temples and off the walls of the pyramids. And I was like, whoa! And it was for my birthday. It was my 47th birthday. So I celebrated my first birthday as Anne Marie. And when I laid in the We climbed, you have to climb. Has anybody been to the pyramids in Egypt? Yeah, fun, huh? The climbing part isn't the best part, but getting there. But I went to did you go to the Queen's Chamber and the King's Chamber? Total different energy. And then the Queen's Chamber would be here, the King's Chamber is here. When you're in the King's Chamber, there's a sarcophagus, which is a coffin, and that's the place to be. And intuitively, I was told to get in there. And I've got this group going, she's in the coffin, she's bad. I thought it was a bad thing. But the minute they all started their meditation, the phoenix came down, swooped me up, and I swear, the whole ceiling of the top of the pyramid lit up. It was like stars. Been there? Felt it? It's like stars. And you go whoosh, away. So there's mystical, magical energies of the pyramids. And I've never been the same since. Of course, I'm Anne-Marie. I don't know who that other person is. And Machu Picchu. I wasn't planning on going to Machu Picchu, but some friends, all of a sudden, I was in Machu Picchu. What incredible, incredible energy. There's their observatory. To be there is fun. This, now that to me is a bird. There's my imagination going again. But that cloud formation looks like a bird. Kind of looks like some kind of animal there.
Buffalo.
Now these two things, these alpacas, they are rude. If you've been to Machu Picchu, anybody? These are rude. They live there, and how dare you be walking on the same path with them? But they're cute as heck. And this guy here, when I was in Machu Picchu, we spent 4 days, and we went there twice. And the second day that we were there, first day we went up and I clapped, got that Kodak moment figured out. The second day you can walk in a little easier, you didn't have to make that big climb. We were going to the museum, and I couldn't get up. I went to get out of bed, and my back locked up. I don't know what just happened. And so the half-hour walk took over an hour because I knew I was processing something, because it wasn't a physical backache. It was an etheric backache. And when I got to the museum, and we were looking at the Nazca lines and all the artifacts they have there, the pain got so bad that I had to find some place to lay down. As soon as I sat down, I said, okay, give it to me. Show me what it is that this is related to this. What's the message? And they showed me flying. I was in the air, and I crashed. I broke my back. I lived, but I broke my back. The minute I got that memory, my back, the pain, it went away. Thank you very much, yay! How many people don't know how to do those things? So you think you're getting sick, you're ready to go to the hospital, you're processing an emotion of remembrance and deja vu from another lifetime whenever you're traveling. So if these kinds of things happen, you have to then tune in and say, what the heck just happened? So I was a wing, I don't know, I figured I was a winged one or something on that, but that memory brought back all the memories from my lifetime there. So that was the whole purpose of going there, is to remember, and we had an assignment to do and so forth. So across the pond, let's go to jolly England, everyone, and see what the crop circles are doing over there. There's our group of woo-woos. I just drag them around wherever I go. They know. They're spiritually waking up, and they've gone on some journeys with me. And we get to do sunrise ceremony inside Stonehenge. Everybody been to England, been to Stonehenge? You can't get in.
No, it's roped off.
Yep, we get in. It's only who we know. Elizabeth, my friend from Sedona, with the Morning Star skull, lives in England half of the year. It takes the spiritual journeys to England. So we were able to get in for sunrise ceremony. The drawback to that is the tourist shop wasn't open, so we didn't get into the memorabilia for that. And we got to stay at Camelot. We got to stay at King Arthur's castle, of course. Everyone wants to stay at the castle, of course. They're cold. But they're Merlin's cave. And then we actually got to walk through fresh crop circles. The crop circles, that one had just appeared. And we picked out the wheat. Because it's about the wheat in the crop circle. We had an engineer with us, and he tried to debunk this crop circles. We walked through 2 of them, actually. And we walked through it, and he said there's no way that it could be man-made because of the way it's laid down and formed. It's just whoosh, just nice. Not a leaf is broken, not a piece of wheat is damaged. It's just folded over. And this little gal sitting right in the middle of a little circle. It was the cutest thing. She was having so much fun with that. And then we came out of the field and we met Pinky. Pinky said, "Do you want to see where you just came from?" Heck yeah. She said, "This is a fresh crop circle. This right here was just where we were, inside." She said, "That one just happened this morning. We're just getting the pictures out on it." I said, how do crop circles happen? She's a crappie. Crappies, that's their job. They sit up. They're the hippies. They've got the cameras, and they've got cameras going over these fields all the time. And she says they're orbs. She said these energies appear. We can go to lunch. Field is empty. Come back half hour later. Nee, 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 nee. Beep. Orbs are gone. Crop circles there. So, yes, they are. And they didn't. That wasn't a ship that came from outer space. That's right here. Doo, 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 doo. So it shows they're living right here amongst us. Don't have to go. The helicopters are always out. You know, when you get some good stuff, you see a black helicopter. This is the circle that we were in that day. And we brought the wheat home because they say if you eat the wheat, it helps shift your DNA. Hell. We ate the wheat, sprinkled it on a salad, went to sleep immediately for 3 hours. Woke up feeling really energized. Could be the wheat. We just needed a nap. Not sure.
Can you, did they ever, the crappies or anything, account for the errors in some of the crop circles?
The air.
Errors.
Errors.
Yeah.
There are no errors in crop circles. Everything is a message.
Everything is done on purpose. Huh? They're normally very geometrical, and I've seen pictures that where they're not, where it's one leg of it is totally different.
Because we're not balanced.
Then it was just in the MUFON
Yeah,
journal.
the latest journal.
Yeah.
Yeah, the latest journal that had an article on it.
Yeah. Yeah. There's definitely messages in each and every circle that's out there. These are lenticular clouds over Mount Shasta. Aren't they pretty? Is the Earth hollow? Admiral Byrd, 1947, did the expedition where he was to discover, the North and South Pole. Remember about Admiral Byrd? If you're young enough to remember that. And he said that he was taken inside, and there were green mountains, and waterfalls, and animals, and a leader that spoke to him. So is the Earth hollow? Mount Shasta is reportedly to have one of those cities in California. Whoops.
How do you get in?
How do you get in it? That's it. That's the trick. So the lenticular clouds know how to get in.
Well, but isn't there a spaceship inside those clouds?
Yes. Whenever you see, especially when you see a colored cloud, they call them lenticular clouds. Of course, that's not a spaceship. There's no spaceships. But you know the government says. And we believe everything the government says. The government will never let you down. Let's use your intuition, yeah. So, back again, we went with Barbara Marrs+nick and Barbara Clow. They taught the Pleiadians. And when I was in Egypt, I did see a ship there. And the ship was connected to the Octurians. And David Miller lives in Sedona, Arizona. And he's written a few books about connecting with the Octurians and channeling and monthly messages. And this is David and his wife, Gudrun, and a native Hopi. And the Octurians told him to start putting in some etheric crystals to help balance this planet so that it can go through its transition. And they said, one of the places we want you to go for 777 is Mount Shasta. So our group just jollied off to Mount Shasta. And I get up there, and I'm a little bit of a skeptic. So I said, we get this great group, and we're going to put this crystal in. And they came from all over the world. And Diane Robbins also sent out a message at the very same time. She said, the residents of Mount Shasta would like to meet with you on 7/9. After you get through with David's conference with the Arcturians, we'd like to meet with you. And you're going to turn that invitation down? Oh no. So David, Larry Frank and Diane Robbins came and talked with us and tell us a little bit about Telos, as she's written the books about, and how excited they were. So I went up to the top of the mountain. I got there a day early. Oh, okay, I'm a skeptic. I know, but I want proof. Does anybody live up here on this mountain? Show me. Come on, down Telos. And I started watching. I was taking my camera, click, click, click. All of a sudden, these clouds, this formation started from the mountain. It's clear on the other side, from the mountain. Okay, what's going on? Huh? There was a labyrinth there. So we walked the labyrinth, and as we meditated and talked to the mountain, I'm watching these clouds. What's it doing? It's trying to form something, coming out from inside the mountain. Not coming from the clouds, but it's coming out from inside the mountain. Huh? Who's he? Do you see him? Grandpa? Head, eyes, nose, mouth, beard. Yes, we're here, and you're welcome. We're glad to see you today. This could be an angel if you get a good imagination like I do. But that face, and we stood there and we went, hello, okay, we are not alone. Now we're driving down the road, and we're coming back from another town, and we're driving up towards the mountain, and this cloud formation comes out from inside the mountain. From inside the mountain. It's coming out. Now it looks like a person holding something, right? Kind of. And this could be, what is this? I'll show. Looks like a dragon. Doesn't that look like a dragon? Looks like a dragon to me. What's he doing? Is he spitting out fire? He knocked that off. Were they playing baseball? Basketball? Yeah, he knocked that out of his hand. They're just playing. So they showed us, you're nothing to fear. We're just playing. Come on out and play. I met Susan Isabel. She's a keeper of a couple of skulls that are really quite amazing. Her two skulls came to her through the Mayans in individual ways. And they're just two little bitty guys. This isn't the original, of course. I wouldn't be that lucky. But she had some replicas made. She has two little crystal skulls. And these little skulls are not like any big skull or any other skull you have ever seen. Her skulls move. You put the little one in your hand and it grows in length. Right in your hand, right before your eyes. You hold the second one in your hand and it grows in height. Right in your hands, before your eyes. And they get rainbowy color and rainbowy shape. Now these two little guys, Eleator and El Zara, when you put them together, they form a heart. A child's heart for the heart of humanity. So she considers herself the female Indiana Jones. And she has these two little skulls that do more than any other skulls. The other skulls are just there. You can go see Max, and you can go see Synergy, you can see all these other skulls. They just sit there, these move. It's like, whoa, okay, there's something going on around here. Woo. What's going on? So our group got together with her, and we did some meditations and had some fun. And she sent us over to some waterfalls. She said there's these beautiful waterfalls called the Clouds, where Kuan Yin, the energy of Kuan Yin, her temple is there. And you got to have an imagination and a clicker that works. But there's a head and a shape of a woman, and here's an elephant. It's trunk, eyes, and head. So in this rock is the formation of Kuan Yin. And we were standing there as a group and taking pictures and talking and kind of just meditating, trying to see where this was in the rocks, because you kind of got to look and try to get the picture right. And we heard rustling going through the woods, because there's all these woods all over us. We could hear rustling in the woods. So we started taking pictures. Something's in the woods, something's in the woods. Can you see this little head here?
Yeah.
Can you see Granny running through the woods? Let's see if I can show it a little better. Granny.
Yeah.
See her? Her head, white hair, eyes, face, purple. Looks like she's got a blue or purple shirt, dress on rather. Her arms, bottom of her skirt, and her legs.
Where is this?
Mount Shasta, California, at McCloud's Waterfalls is one of theirs. So Granny's running through the woods. Now we're excited. Because we don't have to just have the clouds now. We've got some people running through the woods looking at us. And a face looking right back at you that way. So now we're excited. So we're having fun. And they said, well, we're going to put you on a task. Because the Native American tribes were there in Mount Shasta with us. We're bringing a lot of frequency and energy. And Anna Marie is from Holland. And her task, she came all the way from Holland to set this blue diamond into the earth. And the Native Americans that we met with were telling a tale. Blue Thunder. Blue Thunder said, when the blue diamond, he said, in our native tradition, when the blue diamond is set back into the earth, it is a sign the times of consciousness have opened and the movement has begun.
How big was the diamond?
It's just an etheric, the picture. It's that right there. It's an etheric diamond. It's not like a blue diamond that I would hand you.
No.
This is all etheric. We all come from different rays. We all come from different shapes. Okay. When we're sitting in that bar, I'll tell you, oh, that's another workshop. Can't wait to tell you that. So we figured out Anna Marie is the blue ray, and she is the blue diamond. Because every picture we took around her, there was the blue diamond. So the blue diamond has been set into Mount Shasta. And I said to her, go home. She didn't believe it. She said, I'm not the blue diamond. Of course you are. You were the one that set it in there. She went home. She took a picture in her house. Guess what showed up? Blue diamond.
Could you actually see any of that when you were there?
We could feel it. You didn't know what you were, we knew we had to do it. We knew what we were doing. Yeah. Now what we did see, because they sent us on another task, said you did such a good job with that. Why don't you go to Pluto's cave? Pluto's cave's got a lot of souls were kind of killed and thrown in that cave. And so there's a lot of disoriented souls that need to be set to the light. And we know you can do it because you're the group. They said go to meet the masters. You know, you look in the mirror, guess who you see? The masters. We are the ancient ones. The ancient ones are ours. We're all connected. So we went through the cave, and they said, shape shift, so you don't make them afraid of you. Many native tribes have come before us to these hollow lands. So we shape shifted as children, and we had a validation of that, because as we were going through, as our group was going through, a man and a woman were coming out of one of the caves. We had to go through 3 caves. And they said, oh, you're almost to the big cave. Have you got your flashlights and have you got your coats? Because it's cold in there. And we went, yeah. And the woman turned to me and she said, what were you children singing? She said, we heard you children coming along singing and laughing and playing. What were you doing? I said, oh, we were just making up rhymes. And then when she got back to the parking lot, the rest of our group was there. And the man and woman came out and they said, oh, are you the keeper of those children? Thank you. So they knew that we had achieved. And all the energies were there. All the orbs, all the souls, all the faces. See this blue? I don't know if you can see, there's a baby inside that blue orb. Make that a little clearer. See the head? Arms. She's like this. She's just like a little infant waiting. Take me, send me home. And her mommy was there. Now, as we were walking, going into the entrance of the third cave, coming through the tunnel, right here, there's this orb, blue and red orb, and he was bouncing. It was wanting to be known. You could see this very clearly. And we get the cameras in. You try to catch this thing, it is moving. Big, you know, but got it. And I stopped and I said, "Oh, who are you? You know, can you identify yourself?" And he said, "Yes, I am the guardian of this cave. And I know why you're here, and you're welcome in."
That's him?
That's him.
That's cool.
That's cool. That's called a Holy Grail. And it was right on the edge of my camera. I almost thought it was my thumbprint.
That's a real person, isn't it?
It is this orb, spirit, energy. Orb, turned in and validated. We don't die, folks. We just transfer energy, and we can shape shift, just like we shape shifted into children. Your orb energy, when you cross over, shape shifts into anything you want to be. You want to be 21 again? You want to be 90 pounds? Yeah, go for it. And you can see, guys, if you tipped your head, there's faces in these rocks. You can see Buddha right here, little chubby guy. Now look who's holding on to our caveman. Now he looks like an old miner because he's dressed. You can see the glasses. Though. What's this right here? The little boy's head. See the child right there. Skull, but it's a child. It's just the skull head. You can see the full form. It's standing. If I got the whole rest of the picture of the camera.
It looks like he's got his arm around the little boy's shoulder.
Yeah.
He gets his hip.
Yeah.
But you didn't see that. Only came on the camera, right?
I knew he was there. I was talking to him, but I didn't know he appeared. Now, we saw the orb moving. I knew I was connecting with him, but I almost deleted it. I thought it was my thumbprint. And you don't know how you jump up and yeah, of course. But you know it's there. You feel the energy. And we also met an ET that was in a blue uniform with the emblem and had etheric conversation with him as well.
Did you get a picture of him?
Oh, of course not. These, if you get these pictures, and these are a gift. These are a gift. You know, it is like, thank you. They said, you know, because they want you to know the veil is thinning. They're right here. You know, it's not a big mystery. So now we go back. It's 7/9. We've done our thing, and it's 7/9/7. And they said, meet us at Bunny Flats. We want to see you about 3 o'clock. Okay. Now you can see some faces in these trees, these tree people. Other book. Tree people. Look at the trees. Look everywhere. They're there. So on our way up to Bunny Flats, we passed with our group. There was another area that we wanted to go and do a meditation to kind of prepare us to meet the beings that live in Mount Shasta. So we went with our dear guy, Ron, here, and there was a group of us. And he's meditating and he's bringing in the energy of Saint Germain, and he's doing the 7-ray energy initiation. And water bottle falls. And a woman picks up the water bottle and she says, I feel like I'm supposed to anoint everybody or something with this water bottle. What's going on with this? And then as she was saying that, we all felt something coming through the trees. There was like an energy. And we were looking at it. Everybody had their cameras out. Something's coming through the sun. We know there's a powerful energy here. We could all feel it. We're all taking pictures. We got it. Stargate. You've seen the movie. You watch TV. There it is. My friend Larry, we saw a picture earlier, got it. Can you see the being coming through the Stargate? Maybe. That's a 5th dimensional portal Stargate. Validating how will they come in and how they go out. That you don't get every day, any day. that was just a very gift. If
It's not a
nothing.
fixed start date, though,
It's a portal. There is a being coming through that portal. For
But yeah.
2012, you might see something like this that you will go through. Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe it'll be 2015. Maybe 29. What you think? What you think, Alan? Good thing. There, who is being with us? Now there's that being again, the purple and white being. And that ain't nothing yet. Ain't saying nothing yet. We were there at Bunny Flats in meditation, waiting for them. We didn't know who them were, but we were there. And we see this purple ray coming through. See the purple?
The center of
Purple ray came through, and the girl standing next to me had her camera around her neck. She grabbed it. She just went, "Ooh, the purple ray," and she went flick. Now what she didn't know, and what none of us knew, and none of us saw till we got home, reportedly beings that live in Mount Shasta could be as tall as 17 feet tall. Good big. See the faces? And then there's a little guy right there. Can you see him? Let me give you a little bit. This gets pixeled out really bad. I apologize for my camera lack of it. But can you see him?
See something on the other side.
There's a being that's as tall as the trees.
Yeah.
See the faces? See the face?
Yeah.
Now right here, it's a Tin Man.
Oh, yeah.
Star Wars. Who was CPO's friend? CT3? See him? Right there. See the faces? That's who lives amongst us. These are the beings. See him? Okay, this is not a costume. You can't make this stuff up. This beats the Holy Grail all the heck. I'm just excited.
They live amongst us.
Remember the key word shapeshifter. And don't believe that TV show V.
No.
Better pray it's not true.
It's what?
I said we better pray that these.
Oh,
are
these.
true.
No.
No, that's just put out there to scare us. Sure. They, know
They
that's-
talk about
they don't
reptilian
look
races.
well.
I mean,
Fear prevents you from seeing this.
Who? Fear prevents you from seeing
And
this.
from evolving, and that's basically...
And we didn't know who we
powers
were looking for, so we're standing around a group. Nobody looked behind us.
well, they didn't show up. Huh?
Yeah, I guess. What are we hanging? We're waiting. Nobody showed up. Okay, I guess. It's a test. And nobody looked behind us. See, we saw the purple wave. We felt the energy. We knew something was with us. But we really never did actually see until we get the picture. And we had to really look in the picture. But yeah.
What do they want to convey to you?
They just wanted to connect. It's just love and joy and peace. It's nothing. There are now, not every ET out there is love and joy. There is the V stuff, okay? But that's another day, another topic. So we returned. The woo-woos had to go after seeing those pictures. We had to go back in June of this last year. We went back, and don't go in June because there's snow on the mountain. You can't get up to the top of it. It doesn't melt. But our house was pretty cool. We had a lot of good energies in this little house that we rented. And there, look who came and said hello again and welcomed us back.
Well, I've seen that.
The dragon said, "Hey, welcome back."
See that stuff off the kid, too.
Yeah. Diane Robbins showed up, had visited with us. We all talked. And guess, at the top of the day we arrived, I said to the group, we're going to take you up to the mountain first, just introduce you to the mountain. We can't make it all the way up, but we get to Bunny Flats. And darn if Robert wasn't there. He's the guy from 2007. What are my odds of running into him again?
He was the guy.
He was when we did the Stargate.
Oh, the Stargate guy.
When the Stargate opened, and he's the one that brought it through. The day we arrived in Mount Shasta in June, we went up top of the mountain, and he was parked there, and he came over and was talking to the girls as they get out of the car, and I went, wow! And these girls took that as some kind of woo-doo-doo-doo-doo message, you know, because he was just back in town. He'd been over with Brazil with Brother John, Brother of God, what was that guy's name?
Yeah.
So he had just got
John
back
of God.
into town. Yeah.
John of God.
John of God. He was up there studying with him. Now the energies showed back up. There's that purple. It said, yes, we're here with you. Thank you. Now, this is the engineer that was checking the crop circle on Judy's husband, the girl above it. There's a figure here. There's an image of a man. There's his head. Here's his shoulders, his arms, his body, 2 eyes. Now, can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah. And Mike just intuitively felt to go to this tree. He just said, we were talking about the tree people and the families of trees and everything, and he said, I gotta go talk to this tree. And we took the picture, and I said, well, there was somebody there that wanted to talk to you. And he had his own spiritual journey and awakening there. So the purple energies are there. You can see the face in this one, sort of maybe from your angle, I don't know. So it's still, you know, they're there waiting for us to just acknowledge them. So change your thinking, it changes your life. Images in the clouds. This was from the crop circle, because I was asking. First, I asked who makes these crop circles, and this image appeared. And then Judy and her husband Mike. Judy is a Native American, and her Native American name is Three Feathers. And everywhere we were going in England, by the end of the day, she had found 3 feathers. You find little bird feathers on the ground, and we'd pick them up for if we saw. So by the end of the day, she had 3 feathers. So we're in the crop circle, and she says, "Hey, where's my 3 feathers?" She went, "Oh." And she believes in this stuff because we were in Sedona for this crystal skull thing, and we're sitting in a labyrinth, and she's thinking, what are these crystals? What's the craziness with these crystal skulls? And I want validation. If there's anything into these crystal skulls, show me something. And then she looked up in the sky, and there was a skull head. She now owns her own crystal skull. But anyways, something movements too. Let's go back to Sedona. Because Sedona, you don't have to leave the country. You don't have to go to California. Sedona's pretty close. And it's got that bell rock, and it's got all that good energy. And it's got all those smiley faces in their orbs. And if you're lucky, stuff appears.
Oh, rainbow.
Not in the sky, over a vortex area. Now you know you're in a vortex, they say, by the way the juniper trees bend. And it's a breeze. You'd be walking through, and all of a sudden you get a whoosh. Oh, what was that little breeze? Oh, there's nothing, no air, nothing to make a breeze. Whoosh. What was that? That's a vortex area. This, I was way the heck up. Taking this shot. I took several shots. I felt there was something there. And then when we got the picture, the people I was with said, we walked up through that area. There's a medicine wheel there. That's a very powerful medicine wheel that's put in that area. And we concluded that that's where that rainbow was appearing, was over that vortex medicine wheel. So there's definitely some energies in Sedona. Look at the purple. This is that courthouse rock where I said everybody that lived in and crashed in the ship went and moved next door to. Catch that purple. You can see these things through the camera lens. A lot of times you're taking pictures and you see colors around something and you take the picture, it doesn't show up. But when it shows up, it's like, yahoo! Now there's this other little energy over here, and I was with my sister. It was her first time in Sedona. But see the colors here?
Yeah.
Ooh, the red one above it. Well, she's sitting on a rock.
Oh, cool with that.
And they liked her. She's just, I tell her, just sit there and meditate, chill. I'm just going to go click, 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 click. Because I can tell when they're around. I feel them. I'm around them. Now that energy not only was standing next to her, it actually got right on top of her. It was touching.
Cool.
And then she turned and had more conversation with her. Now so, and she didn't know, she wasn't aware of this. I said, who were you talking to? She said, I don't know. Was I talking to somebody? Because I was meditating. I was out. And you were. And they were in. So yeah, that is just validation that the energies are there. Now this is Courthouse Rock again. See all the little orbs? I want you to watch real close. What else? See the faces in them?
Yes.
The colors, the energy.
A lot of people are on the bottom.
Can you see him?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do, yeah. Look at E.T.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll give you a little closer shot. Now, Sedona is known for its hub activity, for its ship activity. Everybody that lives there tells you the ships are there. We see them. We could hear them. We could see them. Catching them little suckers is the trick. You go into Boynton Canyon, and the black helicopters were around. And I snapped this picture. I'm walking through Boynton Canyon, and I felt something whoosh by me. And I went, what the heck was that? So I just went click, 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 click. Now, that could be a shadow. I debunked this all over Sedona. I showed this to everybody I met and knew. What's this? They said, it's a ship. I said, is that a shadow? Clear day. Yeah, what's making the shadow?
Like a mountain.
Nothing's making the shadow. No. They said, were the black helicopters around? I said, yeah. They said they were going in.
Well, it's dark on the bottom and light on the top. You know, the sun's on the top, and it's shade at the bottom.
That's it. Cloak in itself, going into Boynton Canyon. Everybody said you're in Boynton Canyon. They said you got it. Hard to catch these suckers. Catch them at night is hard because it looks just like a light in the sky and you can see it. Now I've seen one over my house, didn't have my camera. I've seen a lot of them. I see the cigar, I see the blue streak. I've seen a lot of ships. You know, it's nothing to me. They're just
Where
like...
do you live?
I've seen them everywhere. It don't matter where you live. They're everywhere. Look up.
I investigate them, I understand.
I have to just look up.
Well,
I've seen them all my life. I've seen them all my childhood. The Zeta Grays. I can tell you all stories about the Zetas and know about them. We made our contract with them, blah, blah. Up in Massachusetts, we had the activity, and we thought, well, please, everybody chased this thing one night. That turned into a flippin' air balloon. It wasn't an air balloon. How did it turn into an air balloon? We all just stood there with our mouths open. No, 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 no. The radio station was talking, everybody was talking about this thing. All of a sudden it became an air balloon or Kmart. Okay, sure, we'll buy that. So that made us understand how they can cloak, change, shape shift. But yeah, I've seen that. So in conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, angels are watching over us. We are not alone. Your Stargate is out there. Your Stargate is out there. All you have to do is connect. Find your vortex. We all have them. We don't have to. We've got them in our, you know, everything is a vortex, timelines, energy areas. Find your vortex. Because your new friends are waiting for you. They are waiting for us. The veil is so thinning. The two-way mirror is getting real thin, folks, real thin. They're just right, they are overhead. They are with us. You just might see something. Tune into those frequencies. It's all about coming from love from your heart. It's all about just love from your heart. If you love and you're putting out love and not fear, you will see. They will make contact with you. They're here in all shapes and forms. When we die, we just cross into another dimension. There's parallel universes, parallel dimensions right here. We just step over into them. That's why as psychic mediums, as a medium, I can connect with them. Because I'm not talking to people that died and went to Mars. They just died and went next door. And they're looking at us. Come on. And that's why they get so frustrated when they're trying to connect with you. And they knock things over in your house and you feel things. And you think, my house is haunted. Well, Uncle Joe's trying to give you a message. Grandma's telling you to bake a cake. You know, you just have to know what it is. So thank you very much for taking your time today to allow me to present to you. Any questions?
You are already aware, I'm sure, that Max, the skull, is going to be in
Richardson, McKinney.
Michelle Barnes.
Yeah. So you might let them all know because
Yeah. I think he's there now, or coming in this next week.
coming in this.
I think he's coming in next. It's Michelle Barr, I think, is hosting him up in McKinney.
Yeah.
Power of the Rainbow in Arlington will also be hosting. It's going to be out in Santa Fe, Taos, New Mexico next month as well. I think you can probably go onto Max's website, and Joanne Parks probably has it posted as to where he's appearing next. But yeah, he's going to be in the area twice.
What's the address? Is it max.com? Okay.
I would go, just Google. I would Google Mac the Crystal Skull, Joanne Parks in Houston. And then it'll come up.
I got the number one.
How did she obtain this?
Joanne got the Max through a gentleman that had been given him it's her story, but it's many years, and she worked with this gentleman, and the skull did some healing, I think, for her family members or something. And then when that person crossed over, he gave Joanne the skull. Okay. As much as the Mitchell Hedges skulls, Anna Hedges has now crossed over, and someone else now has custodial caretaker of.
So they will will the skull. So when the people die, they will do them.
These are the ones that are very smooth. And
Now Max
Max
is made out of several components, which makes him unusual. He has several components of crystals, different gems. So he has, like, half his skull is a different color and tone, and he's been, scientifically tested and everything.
Does anybody know how it was made?
No. They're ancients.
So these are just really old.
They're really ancients, yeah. Nobody knows. They're not like today's carvers. Things that are carved today are not carved with the same energy as those skulls were, because they're ancient, and it's what they're, like Morningstar, the cobalt rock, the ore and stuff that they're encased in. Goes from times and times. According to the movie, according to legend, there's 13 skulls out there, that are powerful energy. And it's just about making us aware. It's not that the skulls are going to gather like in the movie and then they'll all get together and the ship takes off and stuff. It's just a message for us to wake up to what's in our skulls. And using the energies, everybody knows you hold a quartz crystal, if you're holding the energy of Mother Earth, you're connecting with Mother Earth and the energy of Mother Earth. And, it could be for healing or whatever your intent is. And it's pretty much our thoughts are things. Our intent creates our reality. Thoughts. The secret of the secret that came out a couple of years ago is the...
One of our other members was just asking if Miller Mountain next to Shasta gets much activity. Do you know?
I don't know about Miller Mountain. I know the mountain right next to Mount Shasta is called Black Butte. And Black Butte, much like Bell Rock and Courthouse Rock, Black Butte has the activity in it more so than Shasta. And that's where that purple, that one star with the purple energy, that was at Black Butte. Yes? Somebody have a question over here? Yes?
What does it mean when the orbs have holes in them and then on the perimeter?
Orbs are all shaped differently because of who the energy connected to that orb is. Sometimes the orb, if it's fragmented, it may not be a true formation of orb. Orbs, like you said, they have the markings to them, they have the faces in them. Generally, they're a relative or an angel that's connected to us because we're not alone. We all have angels. We came in with a group, back to the Star Wars bar, So the orb energy, and like for the green one for Cheryl was her husband giving her a kiss on the cheek. So usually when you see an orb in a picture or a photograph, intuitively tune in and you'll know who that being is.
But I mean, some are solid and they different colors, but some have the very distinctive hole inside of it or on the perimeter of it. Does that have a significance?
I've seen them in shapes of shields, I've seen them in colors, I've seen all different shapes and sizes. It depends on where it is and who it was connected to.
We have a question from our Oklahoma group.
From John Turner in Oklahoma asked, regarding your title as Reverend, what religion or church are you affiliated with?
Spiritualist. I'm a spiritualist minister. I was ordained back in 1977. In order to do my work as a healer and as a psychic medium, I became ordained and had a church outreach, Church of Gospel Ministry, because I reach out, at a traditional church, because the masses that need my guidance don't go to traditional churches. So my husband and I started that, and we were working with children and battered women, and I started a battered women's shelter home. I worked with daycares and trying to low-income family housing to bring advantages, to bring disadvantaged women up, as well as men, to make a change in waking up consciousness. Doing it through a lot of healers today, in those days, became a minister so that we could do our healing work, Reiki and so forth, energy work that was done. Yes?
About 3 or 4 years ago, my son and his wife and her little girl went to Hawaii, and we went through a woodsy area, just walking with a guide. Didn't see anything, and then when we developed the pictures, she had a little camera, when we developed the pictures, there were about 5 orbs, about that big, very, very clearly outlined, and they were white and shiny.
Yeah.
How do you find out what that might be?
That's the Lemurians.
That's what?
Lemurians. Lemuria is the home of the Lemurians, which was Lemuria, the civilization Atlantis, Lemuria. The Lemurians then relocated to Hawaii.
Really? Mm-hmm. Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Do you teach classes?
Yes. I do have
Where are they?
spiritual development classes. I'm not teaching anything right there, usually in North Richland Hills or wherever you want me to be. I'm currently getting ready to go to Sedona. I'm going back to Sedona the 19th and 20th because of the Octurians, and the Hopi elders are getting us together. We're putting in some crystal etheric ladders now that we put in other things. So and then I'm going to Florida. We're bringing in a gentleman that's Guatemalan, Native American, Mayan elder, who talk about 2012 to do a fire ceremony and to do healings. He's a Native American healer. So he'll be coming in the area in April. He'll be in Houston, Austin, and probably in the DFW area. And then we'll focus on classes.
How do we find out about these?
Yeah, I have a sign-up sheet here. If anyone wants to get, we have a local meetup group the first Wednesday of every month in Bedford. And the Blue Sisters got too big, so we had to find a bigger location and go to Bedford the first Wednesday of every month. It's Holistic Connectors Mid-Cities Metaphysical Meetup. Yes?
Emery, one last question here from Oklahoma. Are there other areas besides Mount Shasta and Sedona that have the vortexes?
Yeah. Vortexes are pretty much everywhere. We were talking about James Gilliand earlier. Is it Mount Helen? Up in Washington, that has a lot of activity. Vortexes are everywhere around the planet. They're in your area, with ley lines and everything that's on the ground. You find it, like I said, when you're walking through an area and you feel, whoosh, I just felt a breeze, or I just felt something different in the energy. It's usually a vortex. So that helps them. I thank them for watching.